I want to describe a big moment that happens when I begin dating someone. Maybe it happens to you. This is what definitely happens to me. It's a defining moment in a relationship for me. This moment tells me if it's going to work or if it's going to fail, if the relationship's going to work or not. Maybe 4 dates in, maybe it's 1 date, maybe it's a first date. I don't know. At some point, though, the girl I'm seeing is going to go with me in a car, and I'm going to say, hey, can you give me directions? We need to find this restaurant. We need to go find your friend's house. We need to get to this location. Can you tell me where to go? I hand her my phone. She gives me directions. If it goes really well, it's a really good sign. If it goes badly, it's a deal breaker. For me, that's it. If she can't handle that, because it's a stressful situation trying to give someone directions. You have traffic, maybe you miss a turn, maybe you're running late. How do you handle that moment? Are you calm, cool, and collected? Because if she freaks out, I'm out. I'm not going to put up with someone who can't handle giving directions. It's a big deal to me. Like, that's a kind of a defining moment. It shows me how you deal with stress. A defining moment is coming up for the 49ers quarterback, Nick Mullens. Nick Mullens, by the way, has a cool story. He's a undrafted second-year quarterback out of Southern Mississippi. He started the season as the third-string quarterback for the 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo, the starting quarterback, got hurt. C.J. Beathard got hurt, gave Nick Mullens his chance. Nick Mullens dominated when he got his chance and has never looked back. Nick Mullens lit it up against the Raiders. He's been the starting quarterback for 6 straight games for the San Francisco 49ers. Right now, Nick Mullens is the backup quarterback in the 49ers franchise. And he is exactly what I would want in a backup quarterback. Nick Mullens is perfect. I really, truly believe Nick Mullens is going to have a long career as a backup in the NFL. Kind of reminds me of Case Keenum, Nick Foles. I say Keenum weird. Nick Mullens, Case Keenum, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Nick Foles. They're all kind of in that same realm. They're good backups. I wouldn't build my franchise around, but I like them. Here's why. Nick Mullens executes. He just executes the offense. No more, no less. He does his job. He's highly coachable. And he's one of the better backup quarterbacks in the NFL. He really does his job. It matters. He's a positive influence on the locker room. He's unselfish. That's what you need in a backup quarterback. And if the 49ers starting quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo, struggled and left, I would say still don't build your franchise around Nick Mullens, but keep him around. He's a valuable asset to the 49ers franchise. Now, on the surface, because early in the season, Jimmy Garoppolo did struggle, the 49ers starting quarterback. He had kind of a rocky start to his season. On the surface, it might look like Nick Mullens is a better quarterback than Jimmy Garoppolo. Because, let's be honest, Nick Mullens is doing what Jimmy Garoppolo didn't. Nick Mullens is executing the offense. He's not doing more, not doing less. He's putting the car in drive, driving it down the street, and doing all he needs to do. Jimmy Garoppolo's like driving a car, trying to do backflips and drifting. It's like, dude, you don't need to do any of that. Drive the car straight. That's all Jimmy Garoppolo needed to do. He was forcing it, trying to do too much. That's what cost him. I think truly that Jimmy Garoppolo was, feeling the pressure of a big contract, feeling like he needed to live up, trying to show that he's not a system quarterback. And all those factors played into why Jimmy Garoppolo had kind of a bad start to the season. But let's talk about Nick Mullens. Nick Mullens has had success. He's 6 games in. He's 3-3 as a starter. 10 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, a 64.5% completion percentage. And much of Nick Mullens' success is in the play design. It's the way that Kyle Shanahan's offense works. Often, Nick Mullens throws to his first read. And there's not a lot of passes from Nick Mullens over 10 yards. I hate to say it, it's true. He's kind of a dink and dunk, little simple reads. But it's not bad. He does exactly what he's expected to do. He executes the offense. Honestly, Nick Mullens is an example of why Dak Prescott needs better coaching. Dak Prescott's a far more talented passer than Nick Mullens. Nick Mullens has an average arm. He can't run. He's not as good a quarterback as Dak Prescott, in my opinion, from a strictly athletic ability standpoint. If you give Dak Prescott Kyle Shanahan, he would skyrocket, is what it tells me. But look, Nick Mullens has earned his role. He's done well. He's not struggled. He's driven the car down the road and executed the offense. But it's pretty easy to do that in 40. I don't want to say easy is not the right word, but it is something that quarterbacks should do. You execute the offense. You're not doing a lot of complicated reads. You're often throwing to the first person you throw to. You're not throwing beyond 10 yards very often. Kyle Shanahan's offense creates a lot of easy completions. It's a fun stat. I want to talk about playerprofile.com. Great website. It's fantastic. What they do is they track deep ball passing attempts. A deep ball, according to their metric, is a pass longer than 20 yards. And if you look around the league in the NFL, start with Nick Mullens. Nick Mullens averages 1.7 deep balls per game and 6.8 yards per throw. So he's throwing one deep ball per game. That's Nick Mullens. Sometimes, every once in a while, Nick Mullens takes a giant risk and throws 2 deep balls a game. Woo! Now, Andrew Luck averages 4.1 a game. 4.1 deep balls a game. That passes over 20 yards. And Andrew Luck's average distance for a pass travels 7.8 yards. So about 8 yards, 4 deep balls a game. How about Phillip Rivers? Phillip Rivers, 4 deep balls a game, little over 8 yards. Tom Brady, I expected to be lower numbers. Maybe Tom Brady and Nick Mullens might be comparable. Tom Brady throws more than 4 deep balls a game. He also throws over 8 yards per throw. Baker Mayfield, 5 deep balls per game, over 9 yards. Here is the takeaway. Most quarterbacks in the NFL throw about 4 to 5 passes over 20 yards a game. And they average about 8 or 9 yards per throw. Nick Mullens is way below the NFL regular numbers. He throws about 1 deep ball a game. It's only 1 pass over 20 yards in every game. And he averages just under 7 yards per throw. That's not good. What that tells us is Nick Mullens is not throwing the ball deep downfield very often. He's kind of dinking and dunking, taking advantage of easy completions in the secondary. That's why I say that Nick Mullens' defining moment is coming up. Remember that thing I talked about where eventually, at some point, you got to give your girl her phone and she's going to give you directions? That's a defining moment in the relationship for me. Nick Mullens' defining moment as a 49ers quarterback is coming up on Sunday. On Sunday, the 49ers play the Chicago Bears. And look, I do not expect the 49ers to win. It's not going to happen. But I want you to watch the way that Nick Mullens plays. How does he handle pressure? What happens when he's not allowed to just dink and dunk underneath all the time? Because at some point, Nick Mullens is going to need to throw the ball beyond 20 yards. He's going to throw the ball downfield and make a play if the 49ers stand a chance. Can Nick Mullens do it? Can he handle having bodies all over, getting hit as he throws? He's getting hit by arms and legs, and he's getting knocked around in the pocket. Can he handle that moment? I don't know. Personally, I think that Nick Mullens is a backup. I don't think he's a franchise quarterback. I would not build my franchise around Nick Mullens. I love the guy, though. Great backup. I want him in. If I'm a 49ers fan, you should want him in your franchise for a long, long time because he's a fantastic, wonderful backup quarterback. But Nick Mullens is going to have to throw the ball downfield and deal with a messy pocket. So again, the 49ers-Bears game is not about the 49ers winning. How does Nick Mullens handle the Bears defense? It will be a defining moment for Nick Mullens. Does that girl give you good directions? Is she calm? Maybe you miss a turn, but I'm not saying she needs to do well. She doesn't need to give you she can maybe screw up a turn, but does she freak out about it? Does she get mad at you? Does she yell at you? Nick Mullens can't freak out. He might not win. He might not even play great. But does he throw the ball downfield? Does he attempt deep passes? Does he handle pressure well? This will be Nick Mullens' defining moment on Sunday against the Chicago Bears, where I'm curious how he plays. Hi, my name is Zach Schaumler. This is my podcast, Strong Opinion Sports. It is my favorite thing in the entire world. Honestly, I hate doing these little pitches. I feel like kind of a used car salesman, but I have to tell you, if you don't subscribe to Strong Opinion Sports, please do. Subscribe on YouTube, on iTunes, on SoundCloud, Spotify very soon. It helps me. It means a lot to me. And if you really like Strong Opinion Sports, tell your friends. Share it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever it is. Help me grow by telling your friends about the show. My name is Zach Schaumler. Thank you so much, and have a great day.